Hi, I'm Janelle Retka from the Yakima Herald-Republic's Growth Gap, and this is Faces of Childcare. Today we're in Richland with mom Stephanie Burrier. Hi Stephanie, thanks for meeting with us today.
Hi, thank you.
So to start off, tell us a little bit about your family and your kids.
I've got a 6-year-old Charlotte and a 10-year-old Benjamin. We moved here in 2014 when I was pregnant with Charlotte, when Benjamin was in pre-K.
So tell us about what it was like to try to find childcare when you first moved here.
Finding a place for an infant is impossible when you have not been on the waiting list since when you were pregnant. So that took a really long time. Every place had a wait list. I'm pretty sure one has said that they had like over 100 people on their list. So by the time they called you to say you have a spot available, your kid is probably 5 years old at that point.
Oh my gosh.
It was wild. And I think that there's only like 5 or 6 actual licensed daycare facilities versus the home daycare in town, and most of them only had like 1 or 2 infant rooms, so maybe 16 infants that they could take at a time. Finding infant care was pretty much impossible. You can't really find it that much in home daycare because that cuts down their ratio, and so they prefer to have more kids in their center versus a small amount. So most of them do not provide any daycare for anybody who's not potty trained. So we ended up actually finding somebody who would come into our home to watch our kids. And that lasted until I think Charlotte was 2. So we looked at a few places. Most of them were really like almost pressuring us, like, this spot is open today and that's it, and there's 5 people who want this, so you better tell us if you want. So it kind of put pressure on us to make a split decision really quickly about where to put my kid for the next 2 or 3 years until she started kindergarten. So it was really high stakes, and you just have to kind of go with your gut or make some sacrifices on your, like, I need this list.
You mentioned having to sacrifice some of your, ideals of a child care center. What were some of those things that were on your list that you kind of weren't willing to sacrifice?
That I wasn't willing? Mm-hmm. So definitely something, safety-wise. I mean, going into a house like a home daycare and touring it, I know that they have all these requirements that, the state sets and that they have to set up, but just listening to some of them talk about this rule, stuff like that, like having disdain for the system. I think, I felt that as a child care worker too, but I do not talk to my parents about stuff like that.
Sure.
Especially when you're touring a new place. So things like that kind of disgust or disdain for safety rules that you just don't agree with. I think that just seeing the environment they're in, I think a lot of this stuff has to do with just your gut feelings too, and that's kind of one of your things on your checklist. Do I, walking through here, meeting this person, seeing how they do things, feel comfortable with this? And that's obviously not something I'm going to sacrifice on my list, just the feeling that I get about this place. I think another one too, we really wanted to find something with some kind of structure. Not like heavy on sitting down and listening or anything like that, but something where there was a schedule posted or a menu posted, something where you can just come in and know that, okay, there's a routine here, you're going to do this every day. That's something that was really important to us that we weren't going to sacrifice. And then also just the legality of the whole thing. There are some people just like, yeah, I'll babysit your kid, and we're like, oh, never mind, no, we want somebody that's licensed and, that we know has some accountability at some point. There's a lot of people out there being like, yeah, I definitely have a daycare, and they definitely are just watching kids.
Sure. Cool. Well, thanks for connecting with us, Stephanie. And for those watching, you can read more about the Growth Gap at yakimaherald.com/special_projects/growth_gap. Thanks.